international. I am happy to say that India is firmly believing in the principle of neutrality. And this is the reason in this crucial condition, in this critical condition, India strongly took a stance to remain as a neutral. India is also having a deep concern with Ukrainian crisis, and also India is also firmly believing and also always stand frontline at protecting human rights. Today, we know India's policy, how India is, helping Ukrainian on humanitarian ground. And today it is very right time to have make use of this condition to build an economic development. In connection with this, to understand the China's stance, China's understanding towards Russo-Ukrainian issues, we have an Sir, Professor Wang, to have a knowledge to understand better about the China's stand towards Russo-Ukrainian issue. China always remains the best friend of Russia. And this is the right moment to understand about China. Sir, you are most welcome to the platform.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. 王教授，我们稍微等待我们的校长，他 因为他非常重视我们这次的这个讨论会。
No problem.
他可能稍微忙，他马上要加入。
But we can have a free talk.
Yes.
We can have free talk.
Yes.
Professor Wang. Wang, I hope you are hearing me.
Yes. I hear you very. Yes.
Dr.Binod sir is there to to give a clear message to you people, and also he is the one who can understand Chinese language. He will be a mediator for us, and we are having great support from Dr.Binod. He took an initiative to collaborate with the BRICS Institute India to organize many more weekly international panel discussions, sir, and on Mysuru Global Forum, so that we can reach a world, we can reach China, we can understand China better.
Yes, thank you very much. And actually, I would like to say that he is a very, very good bridge between our two ancient civilizations and the people who are the most intelligent in the world and the most productive people in the world. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to talk to my colleagues, my friends in India. Okay, we can waiting for you for the president, no problem.
Yes.
Okay.
So how was your lunch today? Did you try some Indian food, Uncle Wang?
Yes, and we have one of the best, not the best. We have one of the decent Indian restaurant in Changchun, and that is very good. Okay, I also like your logo, BRICS. Yes. I hope our BRICS will play more important role after in the post-war, in the Russia and Ukraine war. Okay.
It has been a long time to see you. I'm really looking forward to.
Yes, but we have communicate each other as a Chinese saying, goes, 海内存知己，天涯若比邻. As long as we are good friends, no matter how far we live apart, we are always thinking of each other and talk to each other. Okay.
And I remember when last year in India, we have oxygen crisis. You and your students came out to help me. How many machines I need? I really want to thank you for that. I remember that.
My pleasure, yes.
Really.
My pleasure, yes.
So you are not only professor and teacher for us, you are also our guardian, our uncle Wang. So namaste.
Yes, thank you very much.
Namaste,
yes.
namaste.
You are definitely on the top of my list. Okay, when when the pandemic is over, you will be invited to give the lecture, because India is more and more important in the world and in the region. And I will explain to that. Okay, explain this.
And Uncle Wang, do you see today the list of people who are in the meeting? One is a professor from Austria. His Chinese name is Choyo, Konstantin Holt.
Ah, Choyo.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So he has joined us. He has also joined us from
Ireland. I just want to say hello to him, because he is okay.
So right now he is muted. He is not unmuted. I'm sorry, but he can I think get us.
Okay.
Hi, welcome, Konstantin Choyo. Welcome to our meeting today, and I hope we can join you again. So we remember meeting you in Nankai, right? In Tianjin, Nankai.
Yes.
Sir, yeah. Dr. Binod?
Yes, ma'am.
Our Honorable Vice-Chancellor has been joined our meeting. We will start and we will begin with our meeting with a formal welcome. Yeah. Hello, good evening. A warm welcome to you all, those who gathered here and virtually. The Department of International Relations has taken initiative to organize the weekly international panel discussion, that is Mysore Global Forum, to motivate the young minds to understand multipolar world order, global trade, global economy, diplomacy, diplomatic policies, and defense strategy and security, and apart from that, ongoing issues in international relations. We all know the India is very firmly believing in a principle of neutrality. We know how India is helping Ukrainian on humanitarian ground. India also firmly believing in helping on humanitarian grounds. India is also always stand at front line at protecting the human rights. We know our India's foreign policy. We know our principles. Always India will be stand with the neutral especially in Ukrainian issues. In this connection, we need to know, we need to understand how China will see Russia. And we need to understand the China's stand on Russo-Ukrainian war. To create an awareness, we organized the international weekly panel discussion under Mysore Global Forum. Now, I will move on welcome part. First, I will welcome our Honorable Vice-Chancellor. It is immense pleasure to me to welcome our Honorable Vice-Chancellor, who is giving a constant support and constructive support to organize. It is an incredible support for me to organize this weekly international panel discussion. Sir, thank you so much, and you are heartily welcome to your platform, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I take the opportunity to welcome our beloved principal, Professor Anita Vimla Brax, who is very cooperative in organizing academic activities in our department. It is great honor to welcome Professor Wang for our platform to share his knowledge with our students to understand the China's stand, China's views on Russo-Ukrainian war. Sir, you are most welcome. It is immense pleasure to me to invite you for our weekly discussion, sir. We want to always, I will look forward to you to have many more discussions with our students to develop the awareness about the China's views on ongoing issues. And now I will move on to Dr. Binod. It is a great honor to me to invite Dr. Binod, who is giving constant support to organize this international panel discussion. He always stood with our department to bring, global scholars to create an awareness. This is a great pleasure to me to welcome Dr. Binod sir for this today's discussion. Sir, you are most welcome to our panel discussion. And we also see, Brigadier Rajkumar also joined. Sir, you also most welcome to our panel discussion. So with this, I will request Dr. Binod to request our professor, to Honorable Vice-Chancellor to deliver the inaugural speech. So Dr. Binod, platform to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity for all of us to connect with our friends, connect with our teachers, and especially, again, we have a privilege to personally listen to our guardian, our leader, our president. In China, they call president. In India, we call vice-chancellor. So we are very privileged that this session will be addressed by none other than our, number one boss, Vice-Chancellor sir. Please, sir, guide us on few issues that our department really wants to have very close, academic collaboration with China, Russia, and other countries. So how we can take it forward? And we have very good scholars from China who speaks English and well-trained in different countries, Professor Wang, and under him, there are more than 1,000 Indian students and students from South Asia studying. This is one of the largest campus in China, I mean, top 3. And they have very good department of Indian studies, computer sciences, medical sciences. So we will take this opportunity only to discuss Russia and current global affairs, but also to take forward the University of Mysore relationship with the academic institutions in China and other countries. So the dais is your honorable visit, sir. Thank you for your precious time.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm very happy to be here for weekly international panel discussion conducted by Mysore Global Forum, and also the understanding China's stand on Russo-Ukrainian war. Professor Anita Vimala Brax, the organizer of this Bharati Hiremath, Dr. Binod Singh, Director, BRICS Institute, India. And today's speaker is Wang Li, Professor of Security and Diplomacy in University of China, and all the researchers for online. I'm very happy to inaugurate this international panel discussions in association with our international panel discussion and Maharaja's College International Department. So this panel is more relevant and evolving in today's context of geopolitical pragmatism. China's stance on war in Ukraine has been a subject of much comment and speculation. Beijing has steadfastly refused to condemn Russia's military aggression and citing the expansion of NATO as the major cause of the conflict. At the same time, it has rapidly called for peace and even the offered to help the mediate a settlement between Ukraine and Russia. The 12th National Congress of the Communist Party of China is scheduled for the autumn 2022, which will be an important test for Jinping autocratic power. At this major political event, Singh has hoping to secure the third term, and there is institutional hurdles to overcome. The CPC rules technically prohibit more than 2 terms for the party leaders, although they currently allowing for single extension. In addition, Jinping will be past the customary retirement age of the party leaders. It follows that he is anxious to avoid any major missteps before the National Congress convenes. China still depending heavily on the United States, Europe, and despite recent involvements to expand the economic ties with countries of Association of Southeast Asian Nations and other non-Western partners. Open support of Russia's action could trigger the sanction that world could hurt. The sanctions that would hurt the Chinese economy at the scenario of Xi is keen to avoid with the National Congress approaching. Such considerations, it seems, have to be impelled Beijing to adopt an increasingly neutral stance on the war after its initial expression of support for the Moscow's demand. By the same token, the need for the side to play it safe ahead of the National Congress will probably keep the Beijing from playing a proactive role in the brokering a peace, and given at the high risk of failure. An important long-term factor to keep in the minds when analyzing the Beijing stand on Ukraine conflict is that it reviews Russia as a critical strategic partner and its bid to challenge the dominance of the United States and its allies. A struggle of China expects to continue towards achieving its goal of becoming a great modern socialist country by the centenary of the People's Republic of China in 2049. The pace of budding China-Russia partnership was on vivid display early in the February of this year as the Russian President Putin met with Xi Jinping on the eve of the Beijing winter. The Olympics, from which Russia is officially banned, the Chinese greeted the Putin with great fanfare, showing him a warmth and difference no other leaders were recalled. The state-run media ran lavish coverage of the meeting, including what we call photos of the 11th and Putin conferring as unmasked. In joint statement of Putin and 11th stressed wide-ranging strategies, bilateral cooperation, while criticizing the Cold War mentally of the Western nations and calling for the halt to the NATO expansion. Today, the esteemed panel will discuss the China's stance in Russia-Ukraine war. Hopefully, we can have an effective, insightful discussion which might bring forth key frames of the China's measurements in building the peace between the two war-torn countries while maintaining its bilateral relationship with Russia. So with this, I wish to conclude my talk, what we call remark on this understanding China's stand on Russo-Ukrainian war, and which has been conducted by Mysore Global Forum. And I wish you all the best for all the panelists and all the students who are hearing online. I wish that the international department from Maharaja's College and Mysore Global Forum have taken a good initiative to discuss these issues so that all our international students and research scholars gain a good knowledge, deep knowledge about this. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor, sir. Thank you so much for inaugural speech. And you also already set the agenda for today's discussion. We are very keen to understand, listen to what Professor Wang has to say on this topic. So before we invite Professor Wang Li to start his speech, we have one of our students, Devika. Devika, are you there? So Devika will do a welcome speech and introduction about Professor Wang, and then we'll hand over the dais to Professor Wang. So Professor Wang, we are really privileged that our Vice-Chancellor has joined us, and he has been to China many times. Yes. And his university with many Chinese universities in Hangzhou and other parts have collaborations. Hope we can also visit, Jilin University in future.
And definitely, you are welcome to India. I will also visit it.
So 我们的校长热烈的邀请王教授和学生访问 Mysuru。Mysuru 是班加罗旁边的一个大城市。It's a big city.
Thank you. Same to you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we will organize a delegation when the pandemic is over. This is very much required. Yes. But in the meantime, we have to take it forward, and we invite Devika. Please do a formal introduction of Professor Wang. Thank you so much, Devika.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to welcome our eminent speaker who has experienced a lot from different walks of life and have come to share his knowledge of life and have come to share their knowledge and vast experience with us today. Introducing our guest of honor, a friend of India, Professor E. Wang, who is a professor of security and diplomacy at one of the renowned and largest universities of China, Jilin University. Currently, he's a senior professor at the School of International and Public Diplomacy. This is the first public diplomacy school in China. His areas of expertise includes public diplomacy, the history of international relations, world history, European politics, international relations of East Asia, international law, international relations, intercultural communication, and many more topics on public diplomacy in East Asia. He also happens to be a research fellow at the Center for Global Security and Governance at University of Aberdeen. Professor E. Wang, a man of virtue and simplicity, is here to share his knowledge with us. If we look closer at the alchemy of his knowledge, we can observe perseverance, hard work, and achievement. We are beyond elated to have you, sir, as a guest of honor today. So on behalf of everyone here, kindly let me extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Devika. I have to make a correction. Mr. Wang Yi is the foreign minister of China who was in India 2 months back. So there is a confusion in Mr. Wang Yi and Mr. Wang Li. So I apologize. We mean to say Mr. Wang Li, but in India, we also get Wang Yi very confused.
Wang Li, okay.
With this correction, allow me to welcome one of our very old teacher, old in the sense, not in the age, but we have studied with Professor Wang for 20 years in different part of China. And he's still guiding many students there in Jilin, despite having pandemic and so many issues. We love to join back to the campus, but pandemic is still going on, so we cannot join. And so we are thankful to Professor Wang. He agreed to and explain to us, interpret us, the Russia-China kind of, I don't know, is it alliance, is it friendship, it is partnership, it is special partnership or strategic alliance? We want to hear from you, Professor Wang. As in India, we were very much curious. The way India-China is very close in terms of geopolitical issues, Russia and China is also very close. So how do you deal with Russia? How do you look at Russia, especially when there's a war between Russia and Ukraine? We are very eager to hear from you. And then after you finish, we have some questions from our students we'd like to interact. So most welcome to you, please.
Thank you very much.
现在请王老师给我们报一下中国如何看待俄罗斯的最新的这些行为和国际新的秩序。接下来中国如何会跟俄罗斯结盟，还是保持一个距离，还是一个怎么样的新的外交模式？大国外交，我们特别想用英文，王老师给我们稍微介绍一下。Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for your invitation and for the warm welcoming remarks from the boss, from the president, and the head of the international relations department. And I just realized that this is not just talking. This is actually a mutual understanding each other, because the group people are the specialists in IR. of course, IR is very broad, different issues, a conventional issue and a non-conventional security issue, no matter what differences, but we can, and we are belong to the same field, IR. So this is, I feel very comfortable and happy to communicate with my colleagues in India. And why I'm so happy, exciting, let me say a few words. First, India and China are both Asian civilizations. And in ancient time, China learned much from India, and also during the modern period, both countries experienced domination or dictation by Western powers. And particularly after founding of a PRC from 1949, China received, India is one of the countries first recognized the People's Republic of China, except the Soviet Union and other socialist communist countries in Asia and in Europe. So India provided China huge sympathy, support, and recognition during the first 10 years, crucial period of since the founding of the People's Republic of China. And of course, and we have some problems that we cannot deny, but I think our two countries, people, young people, has intelligence and wisdom, can overcome the differences. So this is why I'm so happy to take this opportunity to talk about the Russia-Ukraine war relating to our two countries, because according to Russia's foreign policy, strategic thinking, India is the privileged partner, strategic partner. China is an over comprehensive strategic partner with of coordination. And recently, just 3 months ago, the two leaders of China and India, and Russia, call our strategic relations without limits. That means we can go up to any extent as long as we want. And so that is a kind of, they call that is a quasi-allies or a de facto allies, no matter what you call that. So I'm very happy to talk about this issue between the war between Russia and Ukraine. But before that, I want to say a few words that first, I'm talking about the war from an academic perspective. As a human being, as a Chinese, I hate war, any kind of war, no matter it's the First World War, Second World War, Afghanistan war, or even now the war, because war, as a General Secretary of UN said this morning, war is evil because they killed people. That is true. Okay. However, this evening, our dialogue is not just talking as is more academic. So as a person who study IR, focus on geopolitics, realism, I must speak the truth from my academic perspective. So if my opinion is different from yours, we can communicate. That no matter what I argued, you argued, please trust me, I hate killing. Okay, but as a scholar, I need to present the rationale, the reasons why the war started. Okay, this is for a second, as a Gao Xing, my dear friend, and we have our friendship has over almost 10 years. Okay, so as he mentioned that I'm a pure academic, I have no any political government background. In this case, what I said only represent my own opinion. Although my name is very close to the Chinese foreign minister,
Yes.
Wang Li, but we have no any connections. Maybe 500 years ago, we came from the same
family.
Yeah. But now I don't know, okay? And to be honest, from academic point of view, as a scholar in diplomacy, I don't very much appreciate his talking and behavior as a minister of foreign affairs. Of course, if he is the minister of our national defense or public security, CIA, that's okay. But as foreign affairs, I don't agree with him on everything. But he is official. I'm a pure academic. So let me focus on the topic, the China stance position on the war between Russia and Ukraine. I want to approach this issue from three. Okay, I want to start this talking from three approaches: legally, morally, and geopolitically. Okay, legally, in terms of international rules and laws, no doubt, this war started publicly started, launched by Russia. The war has been carried on in a country which is a sovereign country recognized by UN, including China. Actually, Ukraine and China relations is pretty good. And in China, they always say that during the 1990s, after the collapse of Soviet Union, Ukraine has provided China a lot of very good technology in military. That is true. And of course, they help China. China have to pay. Okay, so what China need? China's military conventional weapons has been so developed faster since 1990s. Based on three reasons. Chinese has a good military industrial base. Second, the Chinese has a lot of engineers, but the government invests huge money because national defense, military modernization is one of the goals for China. Four modernizations: agriculture, industry, military, high technology. Okay, so military, but we cannot ignore, we cannot forget the help from Ukraine. And also Ukraine is one of the countries to welcome China One Belt, One Road. So no doubt. However, that is from a legal, moral perspective. We hate war. So this is why China abstain, not veto to support Russia. Just like India, I think our two countries, this time, our two countries really share and perform according to our ancient wisdom, civilization, the wisdom. Okay, so that's why I really deeply appreciate Indian position. Okay, no matter our relation, the relation between our two countries keep going on or reverse, but I support India and appreciate India and China cooperate, not cooperate, and share the similar position on this issue. So that means we are Asian civilization. We have Asian wisdom, not like European American. Okay, so morally, legally, China opposes war, and also China government has said that this is what we don't want to see. That is true. One is our comprehensive strategic partner, Russia. Another is big country with 440 million people and a huge territory in Europe. okay, has a bright future to be a wealthy power, wealthy country, if they have a peace. Okay, so China and we can do a lot of business. However, the war started. So why China didn't use the invasion, Russian invasion, aggression of Ukraine, always use the special military operation, or China openly denounce your American, NATO, and even European Union try to pull the fuel on the fire, try to push the war, try to weaken Russia, eventually to dominate whole Europe. So this is why China always used this kind of words or opinions. So let me explain it. You can say interpret, not explain. Let me interpret the Chinese rational reasons behind this opposition from a geopolitics perspective. I believe you already read a lot of books, okay. Since the ending collapse of Soviet Union, America became the solo superpower, no doubt. So this is why Americans so arrogant and aggressive. They call the ending the Cold War is a victory without fighting. They call some scholars like Fukuyama, actually he's an American citizen, but he is originally from Japan. Okay, end of history. Since then, no any history, only America, power, democracy, blah, 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 blah. At that time, I studied at Harvard. Many scholars, including Joseph Nye, he said that is really stupid. History can never end. Human being continues moving. How can we say end a history? And in 1949, when Kissinger finished his famous book on diplomacy, he already argued that in the next 10 or 15 years, American hegemon will be weakened. Multiple powers will appear. America is still the number one. Second will be the EU or China or Russia and Japan and possibly India. Because at the beginning during the 1990s, China's GDP is only 1/4 of America. India is much more smaller than America. So, but we have a civilization, we have a population, we are very intelligent people. So we have a potentials to be the powers. So Kissinger said, potentially there are 5 or 6 powers. But on the other hand, some hawks, conservatives, no, we must weaken Russia militarily forever. China at that time, because was pretty poor, to be honest, okay? So they regarded China takes about 50 years to catch up with America and the West, even though maybe China collapsed, okay? So they don't believe other countries, only believe America. That is okay. So America became very aggressive. Since then, NATO, which was founded in 1949 during the Cold War, after the Cold War and after ending the Cold War, NATO didn't stop. NATO expanded from North Atlantic to Central Europe to East Europe, and will be to East Asia very soon. Okay, I will explain to that. Okay, briefly speaking, Russia failed humiliated, and I think Gao Hing, maybe you know a guy, a professor from MGIMO, Moscow Institute of International, Moscow State Institute of International Relations, but that is one of the best, okay.
Yes.
And a professor from MGIMO, Eagle, he said, Wang Li, you Chinese always talk about modern humiliation in 19th century for 100 years. In Russia, we always talk about decade humiliation, 1992 to 2000, because when Soviet Union gave up everything, Western countries, America, NATO, European country promised we will help you everything. But the Soviet Union collapsed, no help. Okay, the promise just disappeared. They failed to keep promise. Then they try to pressure strategic space or strategic depths of Russia. In IR, if you're realist, you believe geopolitical doctrine. That means your geopolitical security is one of the key for your country's survival. Okay, so Russia was humiliated, Russia was pushed, Russia have to accept the reality. Okay, so after 2000, Putin came to power, then gradually Russia reappeared as a power militarily. Unfortunately, not economic. Russia has everything. The population is only 140 million people around. Compared to China and India, that is just a piece of cake. However, the people living standard is not that high. I'm from 1960s and 1970s, 80s, even 90s. Chinese living standard is still not very, to be honest, was not very, I'm talking about the common people, okay. Still not very, very impressive. Only after recent 10 years and 15 years, the professor salary, blah, blah, blah. Let me give you one example, okay? When I was a young junior scholar teacher at Nankai University 30 years ago, my salary is $8 each month, okay? But now in China, if after you finish your PhD, any universities is almost about 1,000 US dollars. Of course, compared to America, that still means nothing, okay? But from $8 to $1,000, that is a huge progress. If you are a professor, it's very high, even not bad to South Korea, I guess. Maybe not South Korea, better, equal to Taiwan. Taiwan is a part of China, but Taiwan has been outside, has been separated for a long time. Okay, so but anyway, so China has been changed. Okay, so come back to the war. So China believe behind Soviet Union, behind Russia to start a war. Western countries, particularly NATO, America, they never pay attention to the legitimate request of Russia. Okay, they have a power, they have a capability to stop this argument between Russia and Ukraine, to create a peaceful environment to meet the both sides' security needs. They can do that easily, but they don't want to do that. Okay, of course, you can say since 2014, Russia take the land, take the territory, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but that is not a real very balanced. Okay, so I briefly speaking, as a scholar believe in realism, geopolitical doctrine, I more prefer reading, accepting the opinions from American scholars such as Kissinger, Stephen Walter, John Mearsheimer, and many others. Just 2 weeks ago, not to 10 days ago, Harvard Kennedy School, Belfer Center at the Kennedy School, they have a conference, seminar. They invited 50 senior scholars and diplomats and military leaders from both sides, Atlantic and Europe and America. Many, I cannot say 50%. I didn't count, but I can send this information to Kaohsiung if you need. But you can check out, okay. Huge numbers, at least 40, more than 30% of the scholars, they believe America and NATO make war make the war possible. Okay, the title is that is the NATO aggressive or not? They say yes. They say NATO has a responsibility. Of course, many scholars, particularly ladies, they say no. Russia take the responsibility. But if you check their academic background, to be honest, they are not IR. They know nothing about IR, culture, language, literature, gender studies. As a human being, they are more emotional to look at the war between the two countries, not from a professional perspective. Of course, they have nothing wrong. Okay, ladies, as a mother, they don't want to say the war killing each other. I understand that, but as a scholar, I can say they are not qualified to say this is a Russian's responsibility. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with any opinion from any person who are not from IR perspective, because different fields have a different training mentality. Okay, you can ask Kaohsiung to translate the Chinese saying, 隔行如隔山, different professions. The person who are from different specialties to see each other, just like to see each other, a mountain between us. This is a mountain. Okay, we cannot see each other. So that means always misunderstood. Okay, who is wrong, who is right? I'm not going to discuss today. I just want to say different professional training have different opinions. But now we are talking about IR. We are talking about international security. I would prefer accepting specialists' opinion, not the taxi drivers, not a mother, not ladies. Okay, I want to say the professionals' opinion. So I agree with Chinese position. The war initiated, the war started on February 24th from Russian side, no doubt. The war is still continue on in a sovereign state. No doubt. China hope the war will be end tomorrow morning or even tonight. But the Western, America, and NATO, they don't want to do that. This is not my opinion. Okay, first, before war, they have a power, capability to stop the war, to make a peace between the two sides. But they didn't do that. They trained the Ukrainian soldiers, but they are very good soldiers now. Okay, they have a right to defend their own countries, no doubt about it. But who pushed, who manipulated the war? I believe America and NATO. Evidence. I'm sorry, I have no evidence. I can only give you 2 remarks. According to Turkey's foreign minister, I forgot, yeah, you can check it. Okay, what he said. During the recent NATO conference, my colleagues from the NATO countries, they didn't wish the war stopped. They want to continue to weaken Russia. This is not my words. I can give you the quotation. Second is that just a few days ago, 2 American high-ranking officials, Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of State, they went to Kiev, and during the meeting, General Austin, former General Austin said, our purpose is to weaken Russia until to the degree until Russia will never threaten their neighbors again. Okay, maybe the second part is right, but the purpose is to weaken Russia. So how can China do? Definitely, I cannot represent the Chinese official line. I don't know China will continue to support, to sympathy, to stand with Russia or change in the future. I don't know. But my argument is that Russia fails, China will be the second. Geopolitically, okay, maybe not economically, not socially. Many Chinese argue, so-called liberal scholars, okay, why we want to argue with America? We can be like second Japan, second Germany. We just follow America. Why we want to challenge America? No, I say no, not China challenge America, because America doesn't like China to be more stronger. To be honest, in the whole world, there are only 2.5 countries. They have potentials to challenge America's hegemony or aggressiveness. One is Russia, another is China. The half is India. Why I say half? Because India, your culture, religion is so peaceful, okay? And also your country has been regarded as a largest democratic country in the world. And also your country economic is not very strong to compete with America, militarily and economic. So I don't think only India can be a challenge, but China and Russia are different. China GDP is growing. According to Graham Allison, China's GDP will be able to surpass America in 5 years, 10 years. Okay, Russia GDP is small, but Russia has always the determination to be a great power. Russia has almost all kinds of natural resources. Russia has the capability to produce one of the best, peer to, not surpass, equal to America. So in this case, as long as China and Russia work together, no American hegemony. The world order will be multilateral, not just unipolar. Maybe some of you can challenge me. Why we want to challenge America? We just regarded America as the capital of the whole country. Well, you can, of course, you can do that, but China cannot do that. Okay, if China was weak, if China failed, China can never be united country anymore. Taiwan must be independent. Then Xinjiang, then Tibet, then chaos, then civil war. Okay, to me, the central government in China today definitely need to learn from outside for many reasons. But they work hard to make China stronger. Without this leadership, China will be in the civil war tomorrow morning by 6 o'clock, maybe by 5. Okay. So I don't think America and Japan hope China to be a great power, even under the leaders, even under the democratic system. I don't think so, because just you're too big. Canada is too big, but compared to the national strength, mean nothing. Brazil is strong, is big, but Brazil economic and social and the mentality, they don't want to challenge America. Okay, so except China and Russia. So Russia fails, China will be second. China failed, Russia will be dangerous. Okay, so we will be in danger. This is what I look at the world geography. Okay, geopolitics. This is my opinion. No, I'm sorry. I learned everything from America, UK, and Europe. So this is why I say I have a PhD, 1 PhD, but 3 pillars, masters, China, America, Europe, and the UK, half in Europe. So they don't, Anglo-Americans, they cannot allow China to be a power center, which is strong enough with allies, with Russia, or potentially, I hope with India to challenge their hegemony. I don't think so. So this is why after recently, every major country who oppose Russia, the leaders went to India. Cut off.
Yeah.
We help you. Challenge China. Okay. What does that mean? Okay. To help India to be a great power, I don't know. You are very smart to make your own decision, but I don't think so. Okay. So briefly speaking, we have a dialogue. So China's position is not China's position is very clear. We hate war. We hope the war stop. We provided humanitarian aid to Ukraine, but we cannot accept Russia failed. Russia was defeated. If that happened, I think China cannot maintain neutral. We have to do something.
Thank you.
For survive. That is real politics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Wang. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This has been a long speech, but we all were very engrossed with what you said, legally, morally, geopolitically. Legally, you said that, okay, no country, in this 21st century, no country can intervene, or go outside to do something like this. But America has been doing in the name of UN, right? They go to the UN. So my question was, why not Russia tried to do something through UN? Just instead of taking, step directly what Mr. Putin did, I think they could have taken some more time to bring a kind of resolution in the United Nations, ask India and China and many countries to support that what NATO has been doing at the border is not acceptable. So in India, the only view little bit different from China is that it was a little too quick. Because Mr. Putin said that, we are not going to attack, we are just having practice and blah, blah. But the attack came so fast that we all were not ready. The way it has, created havoc in the market, in the oil prices, energy prices, payment system. So no country, I'm not sure about China, but India was not prepared that, suddenly there'll be a big war like this in Europe and the war is going on. So legally and morally, we are almost in the same page as China. I don't know if this is just a coincidence, or I think we have a similar cultural background, or we are in the Asian geopolitics where We have to think of the long term, not of the short term. And again, our way of ruling our countries and our neighbors are quite different philosophically than in the West, where either you lose or win. It's a zero-sum game for them. For us, it's not a zero-sum. But geopolitically, I couldn't agree with you, Professor Wang. So geopolitically, we also want Russia to be a very important player in this region. Whether it's Afghanistan or Pakistan or South Asia. Russia is a very important player in SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Central Asia and China. So at the same time, you see that the United States and Europe, they have put a lot of pressure on India, that India should stop buying oil from and also we shouldn't buy the arms from Russia. So here on this issue, we really find that China and India have similar issues, but similar stand. But geopolitically, we have a very tough relationship between China, India, and Russia. How do we align our interests, like between India and China? Even between China and Russia, the relationship is not as simple as we think. It's very complicated. So we don't have much time. We hardly have 10 minutes. I will be giving the time to my students. They are from IR.
Okay.
As you made it very clear, all the participants in this conference, they have IR background. So I'm sure their question will be, relevant. Their question will be not out of the way. So with your permission and permission of chair, I think first I'll invite the young students from University of Mysore, Department of International Politics. And the first guy, he can speak Chinese. So I'm very lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Alok Senshon, Mr. Alok Kumar, please ask your one question.
Yeah, but please repeat it again in English because most senior scholars, they are, but of course, depends on you, or depends on him.
Okay. Alok, please ask your question.
One means Alok was Mysore Taswe, Kochi Kwangsi the Nianchi Shuesheng.
好的。
我的问题是，我有一个问题是，Indian student who have come back to India due to outbreak of COVID-19 are in the middle of their education from various Chinese universities or institutions. They are not able to complete their education. So what steps should the government take to provide justice to such students so that they can complete their education?
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. Because, first, student question, always a question. Very good. Legitimately. Okay. Second, at the Jilin University, we have many international students. Some of them return home, but because of that COVID-19 pandemic, they cannot come back. And why they cannot come back? For two reasons. And first, China is very, very cautious, maybe over cautious to deal with the pandemic. Because as you know, the Chinese culture, if somebody died, the people are very angry against the government. Okay. So this morning, I also talked to my friend who is from Germany. He said, look at the numbers. Chinese who died from the COVID-19, only 4,000 so far. America is over 1 million, but they regard it as nature. That is natural. But in China, 1 million people died, not 1 million. 500,000 people died due to the illness, pandemic. The government cannot be accepted. Okay, in this case, I shouldn't say this. Okay, in this case, China, because in the outside China, no matter they are Asian country, African country, or European country, American, they have the government carry on the policy is much more lucid. Okay, so we are not sure these people from outside, no matter they are students or businessmen, they will be the origin of the pandemic. So China is very cautious. Definitely, that is, but I don't think that is
We got
the
it.
problems, because that is a Chinese reality. But no matter how long Chinese government permits the students' education in China will be definitely completed as scheduled. No matter it takes 1 year, 2 years, or 4 years. There are many inconveniences, but that inconvenience not because of China's intention, because nobody want to see this happen. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Can we ask? Thank you, Alokji. Your question is not only your question. Your question was for many Indian students. Around 20,000 Indian students. So we took this chance to ask this question. Hopefully, by next year we can meet in China. Next question is from Saheli. Saheli, can you ask your question, please?
Good evening, sir. My name is Saheli
Yes,
Chaudhary.
good evening. Okay.
Good evening. And I'm a student of IR first semester. So my question to you is, could China's economic relationship with Russia make sanctions ineffective?
Okay.
王老师，我需要翻译一下这个问题吗？不需要。好。
Okay. Okay. China's relations in terms of the volume, compared to America and India, America, European, and India, and Japan is very minor, but it will becoming more important. What China need most from Russia, natural resource, gas, oil. Second, grain, food, agricultural products. The third, military technology. This is what China needs now and in the next 10 years, if China want to be a real strong power. Okay, so China want to do that, definitely want to do that. And because now Russia is branded as aggressors or invaders, so-called published sanction against by UN, but by Western countries, in the future, how can China do normal business with Russia? That is a really good question. China definitely doesn't want to jeopardize normal trade with Western countries. EU, America, and Japan, they are too important. They are rich people.
Yes.
Combined together, they are the very good markets. China definitely want to keep that. But China geopolitically, China must feel secure. Okay, who can provide it to China? Not Japan. Japan want to kill China tomorrow morning or even tonight. America want to jeopardize China's future. European countries, not all European, UK, okay, they want to stop China's rise, the rise of China. So who can help China now? Only Russia. I hope India, but I don't know your country's position, because because India is the largest will get the largest benefit from this war between Russia and the Western countries. If India turn to the West, you can get everything, no doubt. Japan's money, American technology, and the European open door, everything. Yes, you have this opportunity, but do you believe Russia, without India, Russia will fail. Do you believe China will abandon Russia? I don't think so. I think China and Russia, even isolated from the so-called Western wealthy countries, these two countries definitely can survive in 10 years, 20 years. During this period, I don't think European EU can resolve natural gas, natural resources and gas by themselves. I don't think so. I don't think Western countries and can force China to abandon Russia. I don't think so. And if you look at the Chinese history and the Russian Soviet Union history, the two countries, if they cooperate, work together, they can stand there, not developed. People have to suffer, no doubt. Okay. But after 10 or 20 years, China and Russia become stronger and recover. I don't think, okay, if Western countries not want to see the war, not want to see the confrontations, they just do that. If they want to create a world based on the peace, they cannot ignore China and Russia. Okay, so now who can help China and Russia more stable, more secure? India. So India now played a very important role. Okay, the question is, do you want to play this important role for short term, just 眼前, just the benefits in front of you, or do you want to be a really independent power in the multipolar world order in the long term? I don't know. Okay, short term, definitely follow Western, you can get everything. In the long term, I don't think they will accept India as an equal partner. I don't think so. That is so.
Thank you, sir.
I think the reply was very long, but it gave India, a lot of choices. What India can choose, So you made it very clear, very clear. But I just want to point one thing as a moderator of this dialogue, that it was the, problem between China and Russia. So that, America came to China, Mr. Nixon, Mr. Kissinger, and the China and American relationship was one of the best relationship, for the last 3 decades, 4 decades. Yes. And it really changed the world politics. So I don't think we have to choose one of them. The way we think in India is that we don't have to choose some country, Russia or America. We can, collaborate with both of them. We have to make a balance out of that. So
if you can do that, definitely. Okay.
We're trying to do, but it's very difficult. Yeah.
Yes, but
I really want to point out that China and America partnership was one of the most important and economic and defining partnership, which has changed the life of my life and many people's life. To open up China's economic reform, and today China is a superpower in terms of manufacturing, technology, and IR. America has played a very important role. Do you agree, sir?
I don't agree. Okay, I don't agree very much, but I say yes. However, after Chairman Mao died, okay, China definitely want to be involved into the world. Okay. In China, there are many people, including me. I supported Chairman Mao, but his policy to Soviet Union is definitely not good. The China-Soviet Union relation became bad, primarily because of Chairman Mao. That is not very smart policy. And then China and India relation became bad. That is not good. So suppose China-Russia-Soviet Union relation was good in 1950s, 67, at least the Chinese people living standard was not very low, even in 1970s. However, China, in 1950, China realized Soviet Union model is good for the heavy industry and military industry. For the agriculture and consumer goods, they are not good. So this is why Chairman Mao openly criticized the Soviet Union. He go too much. Okay, so I think China, no matter so America recognize China or not, China definitely want to have good relations with India, European Union, Japan, and Soviet Union. That is true. So with America, China, I definitely benefit a lot from America, no doubt. However, if I have no chance to study in America, maybe I can study in India, okay, in UK, in Europe. I don't think academically you're behind too much. Okay, so I don't think, so America definitely, the good relation between China and America definitely benefits China's openness and reform. But that is not the only reason for China to be today's China now. I don't think so. Okay, I think Chinese people definitely know how to go.
Okay.
But we can communicate. Okay.
We can have a long talk on this. Now, next question is from Pinal. Pinal, what is your question, please, to Professor Wang? Thank you.
Good evening, sir. I am currently pursuing my MA in International Relations from the Maharaja's College, University of Mysore. My question to you, sir, is how do people of China, the normal people, the population of China, see Russia?
Okay, very good. Very good question.
Thank you, sir.
Very good question. Okay, regarding the normal people, ordinary people, because we have 1.4 billion people, so I cannot say, okay. In terms of academic, the liberal arts and the social science students, maybe they are more pro-American, because when you're talking about the theories, literature, movie, economic theory, most of them are American and the UK and the Europeans. Okay, so the younger generation, they are more they're not pro, they like America than Russia, because Russia economically is now, the GDP is not so good. Okay, military is so good, but the ordinary people, they don't want to buy a tank, okay? They don't want to buy missile. They want to enjoy the movie. They want to enjoy the Starbucks, okay? So briefly speaking, in China, not so many people, maybe, okay, policymakers, conservative scholars like me, conservative, realism, geopolitics, and the military guys, they definitely want to have a good relations with Russia, because Russia is the only one country in the world who have a power capability to challenge America, not to defeat, to challenge America. China need this. America doesn't sell weapons to China. Even Chinese students study in America for the space. They cannot allow Chinese study there, but Russia open to Chinese. So if you talk about the numbers, most Chinese may be more like America is a model for China, because Japan is Germany, but that is not the case in terms of IR, okay? Because as your professor said, 30 years ago, America welcomed China because China poor. Okay. 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, America didn't regard China as a threat because China was poor behind. But now, since recent 10 years, Chinese GDP, because America, I study in America, unlike America, but you cannot deny America is very arrogant. They doesn't accept equal. They don't believe other people are equal to them. They don't, we use the term, America can never accept peer, P-E-E-R. No equal, no peer to America. They are the best. Because of this, America cannot accept China rising. That doesn't mean Americans hate the Chinese. No, no, no. I'm not saying that. American people are very generous. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Compared to Europeans. Okay. But they cannot accept equal peers. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I think this problem with America is also applied to us. We also go to America and we have the same feeling. So that mindset is there somehow. So I totally agree with Professor Wang. And so I think we have two more questions. One is from Birvadra. Birvadra, what's your question, please?
Good evening, sir. My name is Veerbhadra. I am studying in International Relations, Maharaja's College. I was going through the statistics that US has GDP of $20 trillion and China has a GDP of $14.7 trillion. I have no doubt that within few years, China will become the economic superpower by overcoming USA. By becoming an economic superpower, I also feel that China has the responsibility towards world economy, because all countries are keenly observing China with respect to the current scenario and the crisis going on in Russia and Ukraine. So my question to you, sir, is, does China consider this aspect while taking a stand with Russia in the current Russia and Ukraine crisis?
Why?
Why China considers, does China considers this aspect while taking a stand with Russia in the Russia-Ukraine crisis?
Yeah, okay. I think I already explained to that. Okay, because if Russia fails, America, NATO, and including Japan, maybe followed by India, they will focus on China. Maybe India doesn't want to divide the China, but Japan, America definitely want to divide the China. 5 parts. Okay. I don't know, you know, Japanese people, Japanese thinking, now the people, we are talking about the leader, the political circle. Japan is the most successful country in Asia to be modernized, to defeat the European power, and to be a high technology power in the world. Okay, Japan is the only one. No, Japan is the first one. China, India just following Japan. But the disadvantage is Japan only believe America and Britain are the best, are their models. Other countries, to be honest, okay, maybe you don't accept. China, India mean nothing. Okay.
Okay.
They love UK because UK was dominant world. UK and Japan, they are the similar geography, islands. British also, and the Japanese 4 islands. But Britain was the global power. Now American is global power. So Japan respect them very much. Okay, so Japan believe in the future, the Japan security depends on divided China. How many parts? The better for 7 parts, or at least 5 parts. Taiwan must be independent. In the Mongolia, Dongbei, Northeast, Xinjiang, and Tibet. China only in the middle. If possible, divided the north and south. Because in the ancient time, China was divided into 7 parts. Japan always dreamed that, okay. So of course you have a right to have a dream. No matter it's a pipe dream or daydream, it doesn't matter. Japan hoped to weaken China, no doubt. Okay, so Japan is strong. Japan has ally with America and the EU and NATO. Japan will be the Asian partner of NATO, no doubt. How can China do it? Okay, China must have a reliable, not reliable, has a strong neighbor. Okay, in Russia is the most possible. I hope China and India can be good neighbors. If China and India became a mutual trust neighbors, the whole Asia is stable. No any country can challenge this 22.8 billion people. But for many reasons, we don't trust each other. I don't know. But okay. So personally, I respect India very much.
Well, thank you, Uncle Wang. Yes. Thank you so much, Uncle Wang. We are not giving up. And first of all, you are so kind to take so many questions and explain.
No, I'm very glad. This is a good opportunity for me to learn from the students.
Before I ask anybody, I want your permission. Do you have another 5 minutes or not? Another 5 minutes?
Yes. 7. Okay.
Because for my students, this is a first time opportunity that they are, they can speak to a Chinese professor directly. So they're very excited. And I have just one last question, maybe from Chandan. Chandan, are you there, Mr. Chandan?
Thank you.
So let me see his question, Chandan.
So I'm Chandan Vasu from IR department, University of Mysore. Sir, my question is, how is the Russia-Ukraine war affecting China's Belt and Road Initiative?
Very good. Okay. Very bad. Okay, definitely. And go to Europe. The One Belt, One Road go to Europe will be affected severely. Okay, because Ukraine location, first, Ukraine welcome One Belt, One Road. Second, the road pass there. And the third, because China position on the Russian side, okay, the EU countries maybe will not that welcome China's One Belt, One Road, because as you know now, and in EU, in Europe, only 2 countries or 3 countries are welcome China One Belt, One Road. One is Serbia. Not Serbia, yeah, Serbia, yeah, Serbia, yeah. But that is not a big country, only 5-6 million people, okay. Another is Hungary. Hungary is a member of EU, but Hungary now is under heavy pressure because Hungary want to pay ruble. EU say if you pay ruble, we will punish you. So I think China's One Belt, One Road to East Central Europe will be challenged seriously, yeah, very badly. But China can go to the Central Asia and the Middle East.
But
I want to say that China and India need to work together to find some common solution between One Belt, One Road and the India economic project. I think India now, after this war, no matter the war, when the war will be end, how the war will be end, will be ended. The China and the India relations, from a China perspective, we must be improved.
Yes.
China cannot isolate it. Just Russia definitely be weakened economically.
I have some good news that last year, India and China, the trade export import is one of the highest, is 115 billion. So earlier, the last year it was 170.
Yes, yes, it's good, but not very, very impressive, because our two countries big. So okay, this is why I'm working on the IRC, Russia, India, and China format. Before the war, I think this is a good topic, but now I think it is very necessary, but I don't know how to conduct that. If any one of you are interested in the IRC project cooperation, I'll be happy.
Thank you. Definitely, we will have some students and collaboration. Srestha, are you there, Srestha? Can you please quickly ask your question, Srestha? Thank you. Professor Wang is very kind to take this last question.
Okay, no problem. But you are welcome to China with your supervisor, with your professor. Okay.
Thank you again.
So my question is, how and what way is the war deepening the China and Russian ties?
How would the war?
How and in what ways and forms is the war deepening the China and Russian ties?
我翻译一下吗？
Okay, 你翻。
She's saying, 他说的是这个战争，俄乌战争如何就是影响这个中俄之间的这个友谊的深化，这个是非常看得到，但是您怎么看
？Okay. Okay, and the war makes Russia, because of the many sanctions from Western countries, okay, not only the Western countries, almost half, 40 countries, Russia economically definitely depends on China. That is good for China, but not very good for Russia. In this case, how China will deal with a weakened economic Russia, that is very, very important. First, I think China can never be arrogant, because Chinese GDP is almost 8 times. Russia is 10 times, almost 10 times. So China, we are richer. No, China should never be that stupid, okay, arrogant to Russia. Second, China and Russia need to definitely, we need to cooperate. We need to create more mutual trust, because Russia will be recover from the war damage or weakening at least 10 years or more than 10 years. During this period, China's politically, the policy must be stable. Second, China must be able to maintain economically growth. The third, China should work hard to create the more diplomatic space, cannot be isolated, because American NATO countries, because NATO countries and EU countries, they are overlaps. Because Europe and America and Japan, definitely they will try to isolate China strategically, technologically, and geopolitically. So China need to maintain good relations, stable relations with Russia. China need to open the new windows. Okay, and one of the priority, I believe, is India.
Uncle Wang, Wang, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We always wonder how good English you can explain everything. You know, this is a surprise for us. So we got all of the all the questions were very clear, and your answer was very long and very just like a classroom, a seminar. We can write a paper on what you said.
Thank you very much.
We have also, yes. And after this seminar, we will send a report to you. I hope you will change us.
Thank you
if
very
any
much.
mistake, correct us. We have also in our panel, we also have some guests from Indian Army background and diplomatic background. But I apologize to them because you have another meeting with your students, and I don't want to take all your time. I'm sure you will join us back either offline or online somewhere. We are so happy to know you, that Professor Wang Li, whose name is very close to Professor Wang, Mr. Wang Yi, the foreign minister. So we will not forget your name. Yeah. And my colleague Alok, he sent me a message that already Chungkuwai Chapu Phayenren, the spokesperson of MFA, already announced today, just now, that they will invite back some students from India. Right now, they are working out. So thank you. You are so good luck for us. You are good luck for us.
I will look forward to inviting you and your students to come to Jilin, Changchun. And also, I hope you will organize a dialogue between my students and your students. My students speak very good English.
Yes.
Very good English.
And the topic will be RIC, Russia, India, China, right?
Yes.
The topic is
Thank
Russia,
you.
India, China.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but
Thank
before,
you.
as a moderator, I want to take 1 minute as a moderator of this discussion of this today conference. What I have to take away from your speech today is that the war will go on, as you explained to me. I don't think the war is going to stop immediately, as not tomorrow morning, not now. The war is going to continue. Why? Because I don't know who is Taga. Has I'm confused. I don't know who is Taga. but there is
just the brothers, not just the brothers.
Taga is a big brother. So I'm just asking Uncle Wang, who is the big brother? Russia is the big brother or China is the big brother in this war? Because
economically, China definitely, but militarily, Russia is definitely. So this is why we compare, we benefit to each other.
So because of this equation, I think the war will go on. So for India, we have to work with China so that we can decide whether we can reduce the time of war or not. So at University of Mysore, this Mysore Global Forum and BRICS Institute, Professor Wang, we want to thank you from heart, because we don't believe in just discussing, having discussion for the sake of discussion, academic. We discuss very frankly, very openly. We also criticize Indian and Chinese foreign ministers very openly. So for me, this is the first time that a professor can say, something critical about China. So we thank you for your brave statement. And we hope that we can have more frank discussion on topics of Russia, India, China, and South Asia. And of course, Uncle Sam also, America also. But as per Indian tradition, I have to invite my one colleague. Her name is, what's her name? Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi is a very famous name in India. Vaishnavi, function or name of a goddess. She would like to thank you in the name of God, in the name of my country, in the name of our culture. So Vaishnavi, the dais is yours. Please say thanks to Mr. Wang from all of us, from my institute, from your university, from department, from Vice-Chancellor, sir, from everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening to one and all present here. It is my greatest honor to give vote of thanks from my department. First and foremost, I would like to thank Professor G. Hemantha Kumar, Vice-Chancellor of University of Mysore, and Professor Anita Bimla Brax, Principal of Maharaja College. Sir, ma'am, thank you for your both unconditional support to our department. I extend my gratitude to Speaker of the Day, Professor Li Wang, to take out time from his busy schedule to grace the event. Sir, thank you for your thoughtful and interesting address. I would like to thank Dr.Binod Singh, Director of BRICS, and his team for guiding us. I would also like to thank our head and coordinator, Dr.Bharati Hiremath, for giving us this opportunity. I thank Dr. S. Chandra Nayaka, sir, coordinator for IOE, for helping us in many ways.
And my heartfelt thank you to those who work behind the scene. Some special mentions are Manjunath sir, Renuka Hiremath, Vijay, Sendil, Milan, and Shasha. I would thank all the students, scholars, and dignitaries who have joined us, not only from India, but from all over the world. I would also like to thank the student and the faculty of the IR department. Thank you. And once again, thank you everyone for your special attention. And I'm glad to announce that we have another panel discussion on 6th May on the topic Russia-Ukraine War, Impact on Indo-Pacific. I hope you will all join, especially Professor Lee. If you can join, it will be a privilege to have you there.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And, thank you,
Thank you very much. I'll be joining you as an external faculty member of your college. My heart now is already in India. Keep in touch. All the best.
Most welcome. And also, Uncle Wang, thank you to your students. 感谢你的研究生学生，也参加我们的讨论会。
You're welcome, yes. And you can talk to each other.
他们有什么研究课题，我们愿意提供有些资料。OK.
Okay. Definitely. Thank you very much. 很高兴，帅哥，拜拜。
Hello, sir. Dr.Binod.
Thank you.
I want to extend my.
Thank you once again. Yes.
Once again, 1分钟，yeah. 我们主任有一句话，Yes, madam.
Professor Wang, I would like to extend my, heartfelt welcome to you, to the Mysore. In future also, I want to see you in the same platform. We will have many more discussions. And thank you for your very thoughtful, provoking, and insightful vision, and also optimistic vision for India and China. To in future, we may become a good friend. That with that, I will be very grateful to you. And I want to see you in future also to have many more discussions with China and India. Because these two are very, since ancient, we have very good neighboring countries. We hope we will continue the same position in future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me finish my thanks with these words. Together, China, India, India and China will be the important player in the world affairs. You're welcome to China to visit my class.
We'll work hard for that. Thank you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Please take care. Thank you. Be safe. Okay, we are signing off, ladies and gentlemen. We will join you all on the 6th of May for another side of the, our geopolitics, that is Indo-Pacific. And we wish we can have more comments and suggestions from Brigadier Rajkumar and his colleagues. Thank you so much. Today
Thank you again. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
周末愉快啊，高兴，拜拜。
常见，王老师，常见。Thank you.
Thank you.